Hello my dear students. Today we learn chapter 12 of regional geography, and this is the second part of Asia, in which we cover the climatic condition, natural vegetation and wildlife of Asia. So now students, let's start. As we know that Asia is a vast continent, its latitudinal and longitudinal extents spread across torrid, temperate and frigid zone. So torrid zone is near to the equator, that is 0 to 30 degree north and south, and the temperate region is nearly about 30 degree to 60 degree north and south, and frigid zone are the Arctic and Antarctic circles. It experiences a varied climate because of the presence of many mountain ranges and inland depression. So now we are going to discuss about the climatic condition of the Asia. So in the south, the climate is like tropical, and which is ranging from hot to wet type of climate. In the northern part of the Asia, the climate is extremely cold and dry. In the mid-latitude, the Asia experience both tropical and temperate type of climate. And lastly, in the central region, the Asia experience extreme climate and low rainfall due to the lack of moderating influence of the sea. As the Central Asia is bounded by land, so for that reason, the Central Asia experiences a extreme type of climate, that means the very high and very low type of climate with a very scanty rainfall. Let's have a look, students. In the southern part of the continent, here it prevails the tropical type of climate, which is ranging from hot to wet. That means here the rainfall is enough and the temperature is also high. In the northern part of the continent, in the extreme north, here prevails the climate is extremely cold and dry. That means scanty rainfall is occur here. In the central region, experience the extreme type of climate. That means this is the region where it prevails extreme type of climate, that is very high and very low with a scanty rainfall, because here the land is not influenced by the sea. The northern region of Asia is exposed to cold Arctic area. That means here is the in the northern region it prevails in the frigid zone. Here is the frigid zone that exposed to the Arctic air. The temperature is extreme in these places as they do not experience the warm effect of the maritime climate of the south. Maritime climate means oceanic type of climate. That means no influence of ocean is came here or experienced here. The Himalaya forms a natural barrier between the north and the south, which means Himalaya act as a barrier to prevent the cold air from reaching the South Asia and also the moisture rich air from reaching the freezing north. Here the air coming from the Atlantic Ocean loses its moisture, means rainfall occur in Europe and Africa. And the air that reaches Asia is continental with less moisture. So continental means that the air that comes from over the land surface, and the air absorb moisture from the Pacific over the Pacific Ocean. However, the isolating effect created by the mountain ranges, that is like Himalaya, that prevents the northern air coming to southern portion and the southern air coming to northern portion. So the mountain ranges limits the impact of the air on the eastern region of Asia. That means in this part of the in this part of the Asia, the mountain ranges limits the impact of air. The monsoon wind are most spectacular feature of the climate of Asia. So monsoon wind is a special feature because this seasonal wind affect a large part of Asia, especially the Indian subcontinent. Why? Because the monsoon wind are caused by the asymmetrical hitting of land and sea. Asymmetrical means when the sea is heated, then the land remains cool, and when the land is heated, the sea remains cool, which causes a high pressure and low pressure. So for that reason, the monsoon wind gives rainfall to this part of the area, to this part of the continent. They blow onshore during the summer and offshore during the winter. So what do you mean by onshore and offshore? Onshore means from sea to land, the air blows from sea to land, which causes rainfall, and the offshore means that the air blows from land to wind, that does not causes any rainfall and it remains dry. The cold and the warm ocean current also influence the climate of India. So we know that ocean current is the movement of water from one place to another, that also causes that. Ocean current is of two types, the cold ocean current and the warm ocean current. This also influence the climate of India. So now students, we are going to learn about the climatic zone of Asia and also the natural vegetation of based on these zones. So the climate of Asia can be divided into the following categories. So first we have to know about the names of the climatic zone of Asia. So in these zones, the first one is climate, equatorial climate, the tropical climate, tropical desert climate, Mediterranean climate, temperate grassland or steppe, temperate or latitudinal desert climate, China type of climate, and also the Manchurian type of climate, the taiga and the tundra. So there are various types of climatic zones. So firstly we have to study about the equatorial climate. The equatorial type of climate is mainly found in the location of that closest to the equator, which means to the 10 degree north and 10 degree south of the equator. In these regions, the areas that like Malaysia, Indonesia, southern Philippines experience this type of climate. The temperature of this region is high throughout the year with the heavy rainfall, which ranges from 30 degree in the summer and 27 degree Celsius in the winter. The annual rainfall of the temperature is very low and with no distinct season. So here prevails and no variety of season is occurring here. Now the vegetation that are prevailing in the equatorial climate, we are going to study about this. And the equatorial climate support dense vegetation, as there is heavy rainfall with the high temperature, it prevails dense vegetation in this region. The forest cover was wide variety of vegetation with the thick undergrowths of shrubs and creepers. So as we know, in the equatorial region there are very tall and long trees, and for which there is very thick undergrowth of shrubs and creepers in this region. The trees types are hardwood and common in this region. So the dense hardwood type of trees are common here. The name of such trees are mahogany, ebony, rosewood, cinchona, coconut and rubber. These are the some trees that grows here. The broadleaves hardwood trees, they have these trees, the ebony, rosewood, cinchona, they all are broadleaf hardwood trees. And the tall grasses like fern, bamboo grown in between the trees and make the forest impenetrable. Impenetrable means that it is so dense that there is difficulty to penetrate. Any type of sunlight is not penetrable in this region. So because as the forest cover is so dense in the upper portion that the sunlight does not reach to the lower portion or the surface of this forest. The dense canopy of the forest. So what do you mean by canopy? Canopy means the uppermost part of the forest, that is the uppermost of the which means the uppermost part of the forest that covers with the branches and the leaves. The dense canopy of the forest allows very little sunlight. So here the canopy or the upper part of the forest is so dense with the branches and the leaves that the sunlight cannot reach the ground. As we know here that the forest is impenetrable. So for this reason, the sunlight cannot penetrate and reach the ground. The thick undergrowth make it difficult for the ground animals to survive. So what do you mean by undergrowth? The growth that is taken place under the ground of this forest. So what do you mean by undergrowth? The undergrowth means the growth that is taken place beneath the canopy. So the thick undergrowth make it so difficult for the ground animal to survive. Thus most of the animal live on the trees. The trees are here, we know that the trees are very long and tall. So for that reason the most of the animals are living on the trees. The wildlife that are present here are monkey, tree lizard, tree frog, snake, sloth, crocodile, bird, insect. This type of wildlife are found in this region. Elephants and wild cats are also found in this region and that are not covered with the forest. So here we know about the equatorial climate and its natural vegetation and also the wildlife. Here is a point for the equatorial climate, that is the panda, tiger and the orangutan are the three most endangered animals in Asia. The China Forest Reserve have some of the last panda habitat of the world. India is trying to the best to conserve the Royal Bengal tiger, and the orangutan is safe in the less commercial rainforest of the Borneo and Sumatra. The next climatic zone that we are going to study, that is the tropical monsoon type of climate. The tropical monsoon climate is prevalent in the area of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, China, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Western Philippines and the southern China. So this means mainly to the southern part of Asia. Here the hot wet summer and the dry cold winter are characterized by the tropical monsoon type of climate. So hot wet summer means in the summer season there is very high temperature with a very high rainfall, and in winter season there is scanty type of rainfall prevails in the tropical monsoon climate. The summers are hot and the humid. Summers are hot and humid means high temperature prevails in this region with the heavy rainfall, whereas the winter are cold and dry as we called before. Moreover, there is a distinct rainy season, which means the southwestern monsoon wind blow during the summer month causes rainfall. So the special type of rainy season is occurring here, that is the southwestern monsoon wind. The southwestern monsoon wind blow during the summer month causes rainfall in this region. The coastal area and the windward side of the mountain, windward side means the side of the mountain in which the wind is blowing. So the coastal areas and the windward side of the mountain receive more rainfall than the interior region and the leeward side. So leeward side means the side of the mountain which is away from the wind. During winter and the cold and dry wind blows in this region. So during winter season the cold and dry wind blowing in this region. Now we are discussing about the natural vegetation and the wildlife of the tropical monsoon climate. So here we see that the tropical deciduous forest, which is also called as monsoon forest. So tropical deciduous forest, which is also known as monsoon forest, is found in this region, and the trees found in this forest shed their leaves during the dry winter months. So in the dry winter months the trees shed their leaves, but we know that in the equatorial climate there is evergreen type of vegetation which does not shed their leaves. They are evergreen throughout the year, but in this type of climatic region the trees shed their leaves in the dry winter month. As this region receive heavy rainfall, the forests are dense with the broad leaves and hardwood type of trees are found here. The name of such hardwood type of trees are teak, sal, deodar, sesame, mango, and some trees that are found in this region. The animals which are found in tropical deciduous forest are including elephant and tiger. Asiatic lions are found in India. The other animals that are found in the tropical deciduous forest are monkey, leopard, rhinoceros, and also found here. So we see that here the mainly the natural vegetation is hardwood type of forest, and the animals in also here found the tiger, elephant, monkey, leopard, rhinoceros, etc. The next climatic zone is tropical desert climate. As we know from the name that it is a desert type of climate. So tropical desert are found mostly in Asia, are the Arabian desert in Saudi Arabia and the Thar desert in India. So this type of climate is mainly found in the desert region like the Thar desert in India and the Arabian desert in the southern Arabia. Here the winter are cool and the summer are hot with a little rainfall. The difference between day and night temperature is greater than the difference between the summer and winter temperature. So that means the difference in a temperature in a day is varies highly than the temperature difference between the summer and the winter seasons. Here the annual rainfall is less than 2.5 centimeter. Now we are going to discuss about the natural vegetation and wildlife. So here we see that the hot and dry condition allow very little vegetation to grow here. So as we know, in this type of climate mainly have in the desert region. So we know that desert region have a very scanty vegetation or little vegetation. Here mainly the thorny types of plants are grow here like thorn bushes, shrubs, cacti, dead palm, patches and dry grasses are only found in the vegetation in this region. Are the only vegetation that are found in this region. The plant have the roots that spread far and wide to absorb water. So as we know that in the desert region the plant have long roots because the water level is lying far beneath the ground. These plants are modified to obtain and conserve water in different ways. That means the plant that are found in this region have modified itself to manage with the environment. Their leaves are modified into spines, and in the arid region the animals their leaves are modified into spines. So here is the type of natural vegetation that is found in the tropical region, that is found in the tropical desert. Now we are going to discuss about the wildlife. In this arid region, animals such as scorpion, gazelles, lizard, mules, horses and a variety of type of insect are found. The camel is the most important animal. As we know that most important animal that is found in desert is camel, and it is also known as the sheep of desert. it has the ability to go without water for many days. So because it has special feature that it can go without water for many days, and it is used for transportation or communication in the desert region. The next climatic zone is the Mediterranean type of climate. From the name we can see that this type of climate is found mainly in the bordering countries of the Mediterranean Sea like Turkey, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, West Asia. Here the summers are hot and dry and the winters are mild and wet. So that means that in the winter season there is a rainfall in this region. This region receives mild rainfall in winter. Now that's all for the Mediterranean climate. Now we are going to discuss about its natural vegetation and wildlife. Here in the Mediterranean region adapted to survive a long hot summer and drought-like conditions. So here we know that the rainfall is happen in the winter season. So winter is wet but the summer is dry. So for that reason the plants here have the long roots and the waxy leaves and thick spongy barks which can store water in their barks. Laurel, acacia are the evergreen trees found here. Many fruits grown in this region like oak, chestnut, walnut, olive trees are common. So fruit orchards, vineyards are also found in this region. The domestic animals such as donkey, cattle, sheep inhabited in this region. Now we are going to the next page. And here we are discussing about the temperate grassland, or it is also called as steppe climate. In this region, this type of climate is prevailing in the eastern Mongolia, the region around the Caspian Sea, especially Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. This type of climate is also known as mid-latitude or continental type of climate, as this type of climate is prevailing in the mid-latitude of the Asia. So for that reason it is also called as mid-latitude or continental type of climate. Being in far away from the influence of the maritime wind, which means the oceanic wind, this region have extreme type of climate, which means the winter are very cold and the summers are hot. The annual range of temperature is high, and here the scanty rainfall is varying from 2.5 to 75 centimeter is experienced during the early summer. So only a very scanty rainfall is experienced here in the early summer days. Now the vegetation of this climate are, the rainfall is not sufficient. So as we know that here the rainfall is so much scanty. So much scanty, that is 2.5 to 75 centimeters. So for that reason the trees, here is not found so many trees, but there is a stretch of grassland. So most of this grassland has been converted into farms for growing food grains and such as wheat and barley. The livestock rearing is common agricultural activity in this region. Antelopes, mules, horses, wolves and some other animals are found here. Another type of camel is found here, that is the two-humped Bactrian camel. So this is a picture of the two-humped Bactrian camel. It is found in this region. After this we are going to the temperate or latitude desert climate. So in the temperate or latitude desert climate prevails in the Gobi Desert and the Mongolian Plateau and also the Tibetan Plateau. In this region the temperate or latitude desert are prevails here. Summers are very hot with a little rainfall and the winters are cold and the temperature remains below freezing point for several months. So for several months here the winter is long and the summers are very hot with the scanty type of rainfall. So in this climatic zone the natural vegetation are mostly barren land and windswept. Windswept means the this land is mostly barren and it is exposed to a strong wind. That's why the vegetation here is scanty and consists of scattered tufts of coarse grass and shrubs. So here it is found mainly the coarse grass and shrubs are mainly found here. The wildlife is included rodent, lizard, yak, small insect, etc. In the China type of climate or the cool temperate eastern margin climate, and we are discussing this type of climate, so it is found in the mainly central and the eastern China, southern Japan and south and northern Korea. In this type of region mainly this type of now we are going to discuss the China type of climate, or it is also called as cool temperate eastern margin climate. So as we know from the name that it is mainly prevalent in the China, where the which means the eastern China, southern Japan, southern Korea and northern Korea. So which means this type of climate is mainly prevalent in the eastern side of the continent. So this type of climate has characterized by the summers which are hot and the winters which are mild. The region receive moderate rainfall. So in this region, that is mainly China, eastern China, Japan, South and North Korea, receives only a moderate type of rainfall. The wind that brings rain to this region are similar to the monsoon wind. So the wind through which it receives a scanty rainfall, it is similar to the monsoon kind of wind. The region lies in the trade wind belt and which receive rainfall in the summer season. So this region, mainly the eastern part of the Asia, receives the rainfall through the trade wind belts. So for that reason it receives the rainfall in the summer season. Now we are going to discuss about its natural vegetation and wildlife. So here a mixed forest is found. So mixed forest means the trees are evergreen as the region experience high temperature and also heavy rainfall. And also oak, camphor, camellia, Mongolia trees grows here. The bamboo and the mulberry shrub are also grown, and the animals or the wildlife are found in this region are rodent, lizard and small insects. We are going to know about the Manchurian type of climate. So the Manchurian type of climate is found in the region of northeastern China in the plains of the Manchurian region and Hokkaido and also the part of northern islands of Japan. So in the Manchurian type of climate, the winters are very cold and the summers are hot and warm, with the rainfall is moderate and occur in the summer season. So here in the Manchurian type of climate, which is mainly found in the northeastern China, in the plains of the Manchurian region and the northern island of the Japan, the winters are very cold and the summer is warm and short. Here also the moderate type of climate, that not very high rainfall is occurring in this region and it is occur mainly in the summer season. Now the natural vegetation and the wildlife of the Manchurian type of climate is in the mountainous region. It is covered with the coniferous forest. So we know in the coniferous type of forest there is the trees present that are spruce, fern, pine and some other trees are also grown here. The animals like fur-bearing animals such as bear, fox, squirrel are found in this region. Now in the taiga region, the climate is also called as Siberian type or coniferous type of climate. So the taiga region is also called as the Siberian type or coniferous type of climate because here the vegetation are mainly found in conical shape, that is mainly found in the coniferous region. This region stretches from the belt of northern Russia and northern Siberia. the winters are cold and severe and last for several months, whereas the summers are warm and short. So here in this region, the winter season is mainly lengthy than the summer season. The rainfall varies from very little to the moderate. So here is it is also called that the rainfall that receive in this region is also moderate or scanty. The rainy days are experienced mainly in summer and most of the precipitation is in the form of snow. So mainly rainfall is occurring only in the summer season and the main precipitation that is occurring here is as the form of snow. Now the natural vegetation of the taiga region is consist of the coniferous trees, as we know that the taiga region is also known as coniferous type of climate, and here prevails the coniferous trees. Here grows the coniferous trees which do not shed their leaves in the winter. Some trees are like pine, fir, spruce, cedar are the some example of coniferous forest, and the animals found here are fur bearing animals because the winters are long in here in this region, such as mink, sable, lynx, squirrel are found in this region. Most of the animals survive severe winter by hibernating or migrating. So what do you mean by hibernating or migrating? Hibernating means the animals who spend their winter in a dormant state, that they are going to a deep sleep in the winter season, and also migrating means they are going to the places where the winter is mild. Now next comes after the taiga region, that is tundra. In the tundra region, the tundra region lies beyond the coniferous belt. So beyond the coniferous forest there lies the tundra region, which is the northern part of the Russia. This region is known for a long sharp winter. Summers are short and cold and the rainfall is scanty and the precipitation is mostly so. We see in this type of region, that is this type of climatic condition, the tundra climatic condition, it is mostly similar to the taiga region, but taiga type of climate is mostly similar to the taiga type of climate, but here the region is mainly lies beyond the coniferous belt. Here the natural vegetation is sparse and the ground remains frozen throughout the year, and this condition of the soil is known as permafrost or permanent frost. The vegetation is in the form of mosses and lichens. No tall trees or plant are found here. Some of the tall trees are found here, but mostly the vegetation is mosses and lichens, and they can survive in the extremely cold condition. During the summer season, the many flower blooms in this region, and the animals like reindeer is the most important animal of the tundra region. Whale, seal, walrus are common. Fish is found in the sea bordering coast. Sea bordering coast means coastline. COASTLINE. So the sea bordering coast means the coastline areas there the fish are found, and the Arctic fox, polar bear, musk ox and sable are the common animals found here. These animals have a thick fur to keep them warm in the snow. As we know, here there is a sharp winter with a long period. So for that region, here the animals is adapted with a long fur. So here we covered the chapter of the Asia by describing the climate and its natural vegetation and also the wildlife. So that's all for today. Thank you.